Today, I want to talk about LOVE. Yes, love. And why many of you might be tired and frustrated in your relationship with the Lord, or lost and struggling in even your romantic relationships. Well, years ago, I realized something my dad struggled with, and it's been really eye opening to me. My dad used to make comments quite often like, when I'm older, whoever takes care of me is the one who will get the house when I die. Or, if you will do this, I will do this. I remember telling my dad, I'm not going to do those things so that I get something from you. I'm going to help you because I love you and I care about you. But I believe my dad, for some reason, didn't experience a lot of unconditional love as a child. Somehow, out of his previous relationships, he gained the mentality that a relationship was based on doing things to gain someone's love. He felt like he had to work to earn it or give something for someone to give back. It's crazy as I think about this, but I guess there was a time he didn't fully understand how much I loved him. He didn't need to bribe me, and when he had this mentality of conditional love, he wasn't fully experiencing the relationship with him I had to offer. Sometimes we're going to mess up. Sometimes you're just going to be too weak to give anything. But to have people in your life who will love you, forgive you, and be there no matter what, well, that's true love. And when you have conditions or have to do to get, it's honestly exhausting and not a true relationship. It's more like a transaction. Think of buying something at a store, swapping out one thing you have to get another. Was love experienced? No. But have you ever had someone in front of you pay for your meal or your groceries without expecting anything in return? Well, that just warms your heart. But you start thinking, I didn't do anything. Why would you do that? And the answer is just because they wanted to love you. Now, I want you to think about your relationship with Jesus Christ. Is it conditional or unconditional? A conditional relationship is exhausting and unfulfilling. It's having that mentality, if I do this, Lord, I hope you'll love me. If I do this, God, I hope you'll bless me back. You're talking transactions and rules and not a relationship and not true love. You're missing out on the actual relationship. And since this type of relationship gets very tiresome from trying to do, and it's not fulfilling, well, you may just decide, what's the point? And you just do what everyone else is doing. You think, I've tried living God's way, and it didn't do anything for me, so I'll just do things my way. It certainly seems much easier than trying to be perfect. But can you start to see that maybe you had the relationship completely wrong? You are missing the part that's unconditional. You're missing the true relationship. When I was 7, I truly desired to follow Jesus with all my heart. I confessed I was a sinner and knew what Jesus did in laying down his life for me, and I believe he conquered death and had saved my soul. And yes, I testified that to many by getting baptized. And during those young years, I honestly didn't think about being the perfect person to be in right standing with Jesus. I didn't have a checklist of do's and don'ts and grade myself each day on how well I did. I just hung out with my best friend and Savior because I loved him and I knew he loved me. If I was good, it wasn't because I felt like I had to be perfect to gain his love. I did things out of his love for me. He helped me choose better things for my life, and I knew he wanted the best for me. I'm just saying, maybe you're like my dad was, fighting for love, trying to do certain things to gain approval. It's exhausting, right? Well, stop and hear Jesus say, I don't need all that. I just love you because I love you. Will you just accept my love and love me too? If you haven't experienced unconditional love, you haven't experienced a relationship with Jesus. Jesus is the definition of unconditional love. There is no greater. Greater love hath no man than this, than a man lay down his life for his friends. John 15:13. Jesus has given everything for us. He gave his life for us. Do you have this kind of relationship with Jesus? One where there is freedom to just be you. One where you are free from guilt because you know Jesus didn't come to condemn you, but to save you and show you a better way. One where you don't have to be perfect and still God's love for you is steadfast. One where you feel safe to say, you know what, I've messed up, Jesus. Please forgive me. And you know His grace is sufficient and new every day. One where you lean on Him as your best friend. One where you confide in Him and ask for wisdom from Him. I pray you don't turn away from Him because you're making it a conditional relationship, something it was never meant to be, and you weren't truly just getting it. But I pray instead that you find that the love of Jesus is unconditional, and a relationship with Him, a true relationship with Him, is the greatest love of your life. There is nothing better.